If you click on this video, I'm going to give you the best ways to completely restart and reset. Hi icons, welcome back to After Hours, episode 8, I'm pretty sure. No worries. I just made a video of fully resetting, but I'm now going to talk about the internal work that you do to reset and restart. This is just some of the internal work that I've done on myself. I've done so much internal work and just dug so deeply into just the foundation of who I am, how I think, everything like that. But I'm going to tell you some of the basic ways you can do it, and just kind of a foundation of where to start if you want to restart. Everything starts internally, including major changes in your life. The changes that I've made have completely shifted my life in an amazing way. Changed the way that I think about every situation in my life and the way I handle things and my hope for the future. Everything like that has just changed completely. How secure I feel in myself and everything like that. Before we get started, let's take a moment to acknowledge my new jewelry. My new bag. I just thought I would display it. Before we get into the episode as well, you should subscribe. Sorry, I can't talk. We just hit 400 subscribers. Thank you. And let's get to 500. Let's keep going. Also, you should follow my TikTok because I'm posting every day on there, and I'm also posting every day on my Pinterest. So you should definitely check that out. So the first thing that you want to start with if you want to reinvent your life is your self-concept, aka how you view yourself. First thing you want to start at is, do you believe that you are truly worthy of your desires and of your dream life? You want to start by getting clear on what your desires and your dream life actually is, and that can take a lot of time and reflection, but just really think about what lights you up inside, what are you passionate about, what when you talk about it, what's something that you could literally go on for hours, and try to kind of equate that to your dream life and your desires and what you truly want. Also think about what you cared about or what you were passionate about or what you like to do as a kid, because a lot of times what you do as a kid reflects what you want to do or what you end up doing in your adult life. Something that really helps in changing the way that you view yourself and your self-concept is affirmations. I've talked about these before, but just repeating the same things over and over and being like, I'm worthy of a job where I can be financially free and independent, or I'm worthy of my hard work and dedication paying off. And if you don't believe it at first, the more you repeat it, the more you'll believe it. And it also takes a lot of, like I said, going into the deep parts of yourself and being like, what is it that made me struggle to believe in myself, and how can I reframe that? And recognizing those limiting beliefs and those little voices in your head that tell you you're not worthy as lies. I'm reading a journal entry, by the way. Over the course of a few days, I journaled about this because I've been really called to just kind of reset everything. Even though that's kind of what I've been doing over the past year, but just locking in even more. So yeah, I just wrote, I'm worthy of my hard work and dedication paying off. And I'm worthy of being self-employed and on a schedule that works with my personality. I'm worthy of a job that brings me joy and peace and allows me to express myself creatively. I'm worthy of being seen and celebrated for my talents. I'm worthy of feeling financially secure and not having to stress about money. I'm worthy of a reciprocal love. I'm worthy of living in an environment where I don't feel restricted, and I'm worthy and deserving of a healthy, happy, peaceful, and abundant life. And my younger self is deserving of her dreams becoming real. Those are just some of the things that I wrote to remind myself that I'm worthy of all those things. Next thing that you want to rework along with your self-concept is your limiting beliefs. This is any beliefs that you have learned throughout your life that hold you back. So things that other people project on you, such as self-doubt, that limit you and that you should work through. Recognizing those limiting beliefs as something that your younger self has conceptualized. Every single morning when I'm doing my affirmations, I say to myself, all of my limiting beliefs are things that my younger self has conceptualized, and they're not real, and they're from my past self, but I've moved on from that version. I'll put some of the affirmations that I say on the screen so you can see kind of how I try to rewire my limiting beliefs every day. It's important to like forgive the past version of yourself that has learned those limiting beliefs and acknowledge that they're not real, and just forgive yourself and move on. So after I kind of recognized my limiting beliefs, I wrote down some of the ones that I have, and I did like a little T chart, and then I wrote limiting beliefs, and on this side I wrote the truth. So I wrote any limiting beliefs that I have learned, whether it's from other people's limitations or from just like, I mean, it's pretty much only from other people's limitations, but and then I wrote down the truth. So for example, not feeling good enough, I wrote, I will continuously learn until I find my formula for success. I deserve the life I desire, and it's already destined for me. I'm already enough for my dreams. Like, whatever you want, like, it's already destined for you. It already happened in the future. So, you already are good enough. Like, you don't have to be perfect to achieve success or get the things that you want and that you desire, because you want them for a reason. I forgot what I was going to say about that. It'll come back if it's meant to. The next thing after limiting beliefs is feeling safe in your body. So ask yourself, how secure does your physical self feel? And how can you become more connected to your physical self? It's important to like nurture your physical self in any way that you can, whether it's through what you put into your body, what you consume like food wise and like online, like just what you consume in general, because that has a huge effect on you. Same with like the music you listen to. And it's important to do like physical things to feel safe in your body, and also like mental things to feel safe in your body. Something that I wrote is like writing down things that your body does that you appreciate. Like, for example, I'm so blessed that I'm able to like work out all the time, because some people aren't physically able to do that, but I am so grateful that I am able to do that. And like, I love and respect myself, and I show myself that I love and respect myself by pouring into myself physically, by taking care of my physical self and taking care of my mental self. Another way that I love to connect to my physical self is just by going out in nature. That's a huge thing for me. Same with like meditating or reading, doing like grounding practices. Next thing after feeling safe in your body is healing your nervous system, your gut health, and detoxing. I recently, in my reset video, I talked about all the ways that I do that. So I'm not going to get into that because I already talked about it. But there are a lot of ways that you can regulate your nervous system. Like I said, a lot of things start internally, and that also goes for your nervous system and your gut health, because sometimes your gut health suffers if you're not doing mentally okay. Shifting your learned beliefs, that is obviously very similar to limiting beliefs, but things like money, career, love, stuff like that, like sometimes you learn beliefs that don't make any sense. For example, like money is horrible, it just causes stress. It's important, like, if you want to be financially like abundant, it's important to shift your belief on money and believe that money is actually something that can give you a lot of freedom and access to help the people in your life, or help people in need, or help yourself get the life you've always wanted. Like, money can bring you freedom and access, but it can also be a stressful thing if you don't handle it right. So it's important to shift your belief on that. Same with your career. For example, you may have been taught that like your career is only for making money, and it doesn't matter how it makes you feel. It doesn't matter if you're in the worst mental state ever because of your career, as long as you're making money. A lot of people are taught that. That's what I was taught. But I was able to shift my belief and be like, actually, your career should be something that fulfills you and brings you joy. Something that, fits your personality, something that is who you are. And it's not only a source of money, it should be a source of, like passion. It should be something you're passionate about. Something I wrote down is like, this is the previous belief that I had on this, and this is the belief that I'm shifting it to. So like, I previously viewed challenges as inconveniences and setbacks, but I have learned through those challenges that I'm capable of overcoming them. Every single challenge is proof that you're worthy of overcoming, or that you're capable of overcoming those challenges. And every failure builds you a stronger foundation. I recently did a video about that. And, everything that you overcome gets you closer to what you want. Next thing is nurturing the connection between your physical and your mental self. So, for example, knowing that your physical self starts internally and you can also nurture your mental self physically, if that makes sense. So if something's off mentally, you can do physical things to nurture that. And if something is off mentally, you can do physical things. Did I just say the same thing twice? If something is off physically, you can do mental things. Like, for example, when I was really struggling mentally, like my skin was breaking out and like things were just off. Like you could tell in my face that things were off. But when I started to really work on myself and do the internal work and face the dark parts of myself and shift them, like I started to literally glow and feel like the most beautiful, confident version of myself. And people started to notice and be like, "You're glowing, hey!" Like, seriously, when you do the internal work, it's noticeable externally. If things are off balance, what can you do physically or what can you do mentally? Balance those two parts of yourself. Next thing is just finding a balance in life. There are a lot of things in life that require balance. And an example of that is rest and productivity, time with others and time by yourself, logic and daydreaming, vulnerability and mystery, planning and flowing. For rest and productivity, it's important to listen to your body, take it easy when you know that you need to. If you physically cannot give any more, take a step back and nurture yourself until you're able to. And just like get the things done that you have to do. And then after you do that, do the things that you want to do and nurture yourself physically and mentally in order to be able to show up the next day or whenever you're ready. Next thing is time with others and time alone. I'm someone who thrives on independence and being by myself. I need a lot of recharging time by myself, so I really, really prioritize that. So it's important for me to like take time by myself to recharge and do things that fill my cup and nurture myself, and then pour into other people, because you can't pour from an empty cup. That just came out of my mouth without me even planning it. You can't pour from an empty cup. If you are completely empty because you're not nurturing yourself, you're not going to be able to pour into other people. So you need to be able to nurture yourself and fill your own cup in order to pour into others' cups, if that makes sense. So yeah, next thing is logic and daydreaming. It's important to like dream up an idea with no limitations. Don't limit yourself. Let yourself dream big. But then take that dream step by step with logic and make a concrete plan and structure it, because you set a lot of goals at the beginning of the year, but you never, set a structured plan on how to achieve them. It's important when you set goals, dream big, set the goal, and then break it down into steps and be like, what can I do today to get closer to that goal? Because every step you do gets you closer to the goal. So like, if you want to read more, okay, be more specific. How often do you want to read? How many pages a day or how many chapters a day? Just break it down into a smaller thing. Because a lot of times people are pessimistic and they write it off as being logical. And it pisses me off so bad when people are like, oh, that's unrealistic. Are you even going to try? Like, it pisses me off so bad when people say that. Maybe it's not unrealistic. Other people are living it too, you know what I mean? So it's important to not limit yourself in the dreams that you have. It's realistic because other people have the dreams that I have, but how am I going to achieve this with concrete steps and structure? Next thing is vulnerability and mystery. It's important not to just like reveal everything about yourself immediately, because people will be like, whoa. But it's also important to be vulnerable. Next thing is planning and flowing. So it's important to like go with the flow and just, yeah. But like, my phone ran out of storage. As I was saying, my brain is always telling me that I need to be planning a million steps ahead, when in reality that just causes me more stress. So it's important to find a balance between planning and just like going with the flow and being like, all the steps that I'm planning will play out exactly how they're supposed to. So let me just read what I wrote, because my thoughts are jumbled. I will plan concrete logical steps, only what needs to be planned, and as I'm living out the plans, I will let them flow naturally how they're meant to, with a deep trust in the process. Stop trying to figure everything out and control outcomes, because everything will fall into place without you forcing it there. Something that helps me is reminding myself that my path is already written out, thinking about what I can control and what I can't control. So some of the things that I wrote are, I can control how I act and how I react, but I can't control how others act and react. I can control my mindset and my creativity, but I can't control how people receive what I create. Because once it's out there, it's not up to me what happens with it. So it's important to just let go and be like, everything's gonna happen how it's supposed to. I don't need to control outcomes. Sorry if I sound like I've never spoken before in my life. Next thing is to replace, excuse me, temporary fulfillment with real fulfillment. Some examples of temporary fulfillment are doom scrolling, binging, or impulse eating, just like emotionally eating, impulse buying, distraction, external validation, and next thing is avoiding emotions or situations that are difficult. Wait, what? Okay, never mind. Avoiding your emotions and not facing them. Real fulfillment is nature and sunlight, time with people, reading, and just doing your hobbies. Finishing or physical activity, finishing a goal such as like cleaning your room or finishing a project, listening to music, learning and mastering new skills, mindfulness, and self-care. So it's important to just like switch out those things that in the moment feel good but are in the long run bad for you for things that are actually good for you in the moment and in the long run. Next thing that you can do to reinvent yourself is to look at the success stories of people who are similar to you and use that as inspiration. My number one inspiration, as I've said many times, is Adriana Lima, because like me, she was extremely shy, but she worked really hard in order to like embrace her confidence and learn how to be confident basically, and now she's just known for her presence on the runway. So yeah, next person that I wrote down is Lana Del Rey. What a coincidence. Many people didn't understand her vision, but she didn't like change everything about herself. She waited until people met her where she was at. Also, many models were discovered in unusual ways, and they faced a lot of rejection, but they overcame it and became like some of the most successful models ever. Some YouTubers post videos for literally like 5 years with little progress before they blow up and they build like a successful brand and a successful business. Everybody's on a different path, everybody's on a different journey. Owning your mistakes with confidence. You should say things about yourself before others can say it about you. Say things about yourself before others say it about you. That doesn't make any sense. But for example, there's this YouTuber named Wizard Liz, and she has like self-improvement content. People were calling her like selfish and conceited, and so she made merch that said like something about being conceited or something. I sound like I know what I'm talking about for sure. But yeah, like if people are like, "Oh, you're so conceited," instead of being like, "What?" like defending yourself, be like, "Actually, yeah, I am." Right, I am. When people try to bring you down, literally just use that as fuel to bring yourself up even more. And this reminds me of the book I'm reading right now called The 48 Laws of Power, and I really want to make a video talking about what I've learned from this book. I'm going to, regardless of what you say. I'm not done with it yet, but that video will be coming in March because I'm going to finish this book in February. So next thing is, or last thing actually, is detachment. So detachment, the idea of it is when you want something, instead of wanting it out of desperation, just being like, oh yeah, like accepting that it's going to come to you no matter what. And then it's not just only with like your desires, but just in general. So a few tips on how to do that. Number one is think about how, like, the fact that only you control how you act and how you react in situations. You can't control how other people react, especially with boundaries. Like, when you set a boundary, you can't control how other people react to that boundary. You're the one who respects yourself enough to set that boundary. So if people are like, "Oh, you're setting that boundary," ew, that's not on you. They're just losers who can't respect your boundaries. You should treat yourself like you're a designer bag, okay? You do not beg to be purchased. If people want you, they pay the full price. You will be purchased by the right people, and they will pay full price for you. People should show up to meet your standards. You should keep your standards high, okay? Don't lower them for anyone. Don't stoop down to meet people who aren't worthy of your time and energy. Energy vampires, people who suck the energy out of you because they do not reciprocate it. There's always better. Don't settle for something that doesn't fit in your presence, something that doesn't deserve to be in your presence. You are not responsible for other people's reactions when you prioritize your well-being. Let me say that again. You're not responsible for other people's reactions when you prioritize your well-being. Okay? Sometimes you just have to let people sit with what they've said to you. Sometimes the best response is silence. And also, if people are blowing up at you and screaming at you, sometimes if you just are calm, you're stone-faced, and you're just like, that's much more powerful than arguing and blowing up at them. You know, people don't know what to do when you're overly calm. Don't ever explain your worth. The right people will see your worth. Okay, if people can't see what you're worth, that's their fault. Your inner work and that you do on yourself and your actions will do the talking for you. Your actions are way louder than your words. It's, same goes for other people. Pay more attention to people's actions than their words. Stop being scared of being disliked by losers, okay? They're not even most of the time involved in your life. You shouldn't be scared to go for what you want because you're scared of what Sally might say about you. Let people judge you. Let people think they're crazy. Because what you are building right now will literally slap them square in the face and they'll realize that you weren't crazy. And they'll realize that you were right all along. Okay? In order to detach, you should focus more on enjoyment in the journey rather than the final destination. Because the final destination, the end goal, is not the only source of joy. There are so many good things that can happen on the path to getting what you want. And it'll be that much sweeter when you enjoy every little step of the way, every setback even, enjoy it. Because when you get when you reach the end goal, you'll be like, oh my gosh. Gratitude and presence makes you a magnet to what you want, not desperation. Trust that it's on its way and remember that it's not up to you. It's what you want is already on its way, okay? Or something better, because what is meant for you will never miss you, and what isn't meant for you will always pass you by. So you don't have anything to worry about. Just detach and know that everything is on its way as it's fated to happen. And if you are clinging onto your desires out of desperation, which I know it's really hard, but it takes practice not to do that. I'm still currently working on that. If you aren't clinging onto them and you just let go, they will just naturally flow to you. Change is constant, and you will never be at this time in your life again. I know that sounds scary, but you should use that as inspiration to soak up every moment of your life that you're in right now. Know that you are already extremely blessed, and look forward to how blessed you will be, because you're exactly where you're meant to be. The second you stop searching and you just know that the right things are coming, your desires will literally flood into your life. Okay, well that's it. Those are all of the notes that I have written down, my journal prompt, my journal entry on reinventing your life, resetting your life. Okay, we have to hurry this up because my storage right now. But basically, as I was saying, it starts internally. Start with your self-concept. Work through your limiting beliefs and your learned beliefs that don't serve you. Feel safe in your body. Regulate your nervous system. Detox. Heal your gut health. Connect your physical and mental self. Find balance in your life. Stop trying to control everything. Replace temporary fulfillment. Take inspiration from other successful people. Own your mistakes with confidence. And learn to detach from outcomes. So, I really hope this video helped you, but before we end the video, I'm going to do my afterthought. What a coincidence, it's in my new bag. A piece of advice. If you want something, don't take no for an answer. Okay, period. I didn't look at this beforehand. I pinky promise. And yeah, that's a perfect way to end this episode. Don't take no for an answer. Okay, well, obviously take that with a grain of salt. But if you want something, literally do not stop until you get it, okay? If you truly want it, there's a reason that you truly want it, and if you truly, truly want it, do not stop until you get it, okay? So, yeah, thank you so much for listening to this episode. Watching, aka. I don't know why I said aka. Make sure you subscribe, like the video, comment what book you're reading right now if you're reading a book. And if you aren't reading a book, I will give you some recommendations if you ask for them. Or what, like, TV show you're watching, if you're watching a TV show. I am currently watching Liv and Maddie with my sister, because sometimes I love rewatching old Disney Channel. Sue me. Anyways, yeah, so I will... Ooh. Anyways, I just got back from Arizona, so there will be a vlog soon. Follow my TikTok and my Pinterest. And I will see you next time. Stay iconic. I never said that before, but maybe I should start saying it. Bye.